Welcome to Land's End in Cornwall, the dramatic southwesterly tip of mainland Britain. In this video, join me as I explore the stunning southwest coast path from Land's End to Sennen Cove, hunting down the haunting remains of the RMS Mulheim shipwreck and capturing the striking coastline along the way, before heading back to Enys Arch as high tide reaches the coast. With strong winds whipping up massive waves from the mighty Atlantic crashing against the Celtic Sea, it was a battle against the elements and a reminder of why I love shooting nature's pure power.
Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love the Cornish coast. And you can't beat the Cornish coast on a real dramatic, wild day, which is exactly what we have today. So, I'm just leaving kind of like the main parking area up there where the Land's End Hotel is, and that's the main place you usually start from whenever you head to Land's End. And we're just heading up along the coast path, probably about a mile walk, I think, up to this shipwreck. So not the end of the world. Saying that, depends how difficult the terrain is, which it's going to be pretty good. Coast paths here in southern England, southwest especially, are very well maintained. So we're just coming up here to the first and last refreshment house in England, which is not open. Of course, it's not a tourist season. It's December, the beginning of December, so all of the most of the attractions here are actually shut, which is a bit of a shame for me, but I have bought the essentials, drinks. I've had a big breakfast this morning, so I'm ready, but got to show you this view. Wow. Look at that ocean. Stunning. Looks so wild with this weather. I'm keeping a very close eye out for any marine life in this area. So, got a bit of a puddle here, but I'm gonna have to set up my camera here. Let's get a shot. Just a very simple landscape shot there. F9, 400ths of a second, just to really freeze these waves coming in, and there's a lot of wind around, so I'm really trying to keep the camera steady. Even on a tripod, it's going everywhere, and I'm going everywhere as well in the wind, so trying to keep myself steady as well. I'm shaking like that. Yeah, ISO 250 as well on that, but some incredibly big waves coming in here. Very cool. But it's going to be try not to do so much stop-start in here, but at every corner you just want to take a shot along this coast path. Well, you can see here all this dead-looking heather, these dark patches here. This would have been the beautiful purple heather that you see coming into kind of like early autumn time. This area is just beautifully coloured with that beautiful purple heather. That make a beautiful foreground subject. When there's nice light here, it would look absolutely incredible, I'm sure. Cool. Just looking behind me at the White House in the distance over there. Wait. Through the gate nice and safe. So, this area is maintained by the National Trust. Mayen, I think that's how you pronounce it correctly. So, yeah, good to see of course, the National Trust play a huge part here in the UK, maintaining incredible areas like this. It's nice to see all these paths are well maintained, doing a fantastic job. Do love the National Trust. Get an incredible perspective looking back at the coast there. You really put into perspective how dramatic this is, look. We're doing well. Should be long until we get to this shipwreck now. Very easy walk really, relatively flat here. No major inclines or declines really. Terrain's a bit rocky and narrow in some places, but it's fine. Main Cliff Castle, okay. No, somebody's left their dog bag there. charming. If it was another form of litter, I'd have probably taken that away, but yeah, I ain't touching that. Always important to keep our coast paths pristine. Absolutely pristine. This is why Cornwall is so beautiful, because it is looked after very well. Cliff Castle entrance. So, okay, this must have been some form of castle. I mean, doesn't look to be any kind of archaeological settlements here, but maybe an old Iron Age castle down here, maybe. Got to be very careful in places like this. Stick to the paths. The colour of this ocean, look, stunning. So beautiful. And with that stormy weather just giving it a boost, and with the tide coming in, I mean, these waves are enormous. If you could surf here, I mean, oh, God, it'd be amazing. Just gonna have a little look down here. Wait, God, the wind's pushing me a bit there. Super careful here. Gosh. Oh, there's a cove down here. I wonder if this is the shipwreck. Again, very careful here now. This is it, everyone. The shipwreck's down here. You can see, like, oh, there it is. Wow. Okay. Wow. That is incredibly rusted and been there a very long time, as you can see. I am not going any closer to this cliff edge because this looks very unstable. I'm on a very secure rock here, but yeah. Don't know if we can get a shot of it from up there, maybe, but here's not great. Maybe up there, get a better shot looking down here, but yeah, this is very exposed here. Wow. Even there's a lot of foam on the beach down there and all that's kicking up into the sky here. I don't know if you can see it. All right, let's get to a safer point, I think. Wow, the sun suddenly decided it wants to come out and play. It's just beautifully pitched up there in the sky, and it's just slowly breaking out through that really stormy clouds there, which is just brightening up that water. Lovely. So it really makes that water pop. Really lovely. It's difficult to keep still. The wind's wild. Oh! Woo-hoo! God, this is what I love about photography. Conditions like this, stunning. Let's go and try and capture this shipwreck from up on this cliff up here. It's got to be a safer location to be able to capture it. Whoa, big waves there, big waves. Well, this coastal path's keeping me fit, but I think we're here. Possibly, yes. Got a lot of water running down here. Oh, wow, yeah. The RMS Mulheim was a German cargo ship built in Romania and launched in May 1999. On 22nd of March 2003, it was wrecked at Land's End after the chief officer fell unconscious while on watch. Okay. In heavy seas later that year, the ship was broken into two pieces. The remaining wreckage below this cliff is dangerous with unstable structures and sharp metal exposed. It is not feasible to secure the wreck or make it safe for the safety. Please do not go near it. All children kept locked away. Okay, yeah. Yeah, it looks like you can get down there, but whew. Yeah, you can get down there. But I'm not even going to try it. You can see the waterway, all this water's flowing down, which probably makes this just even more dangerous and hazardous down there. You know, one slip and tumble down there onto that big pile of rusty metal, and that would be me. This is the other side to where we were earlier. It's kind of like the other side of the bay where the shipwreck was. So just gonna have a very careful look over here, and the sun is really trying hard to stay out, but there is a big thick overcast coming in, so I don't think it'll be with us for long. Wow, yeah, get a view of it here, look. Whoa. Just gonna kneel down here, be safe. Certainly don't want to be stood up here. Incredible. It's so quiet as well. I think I've only seen 2 people. So we've literally reached the other side of the bay, look. Just see the white houses on the cliffs in the far distance there. God, I can keep walking along this coast path forever. I've just come over the ridge a little bit as well, and oh man, just every time I turn a corner here, you're just greeted with another incredible location. It's kind of like a Coast Guard watchtower over here, look. Right, we'll just do this final bit. I think this is Sennen Cove here. This is Sennen Cove. So we're just gonna, this is as far as we're gonna go, I think, before we head back to Land's End and go and get probably one of the best shots of today, he says. But it'd be hard to compete with some of the shots we've got so far, but the wind was so wild up there. It's got even stronger, I'm sure. But this Sennen Cove here is, whew, if you just type in on the internet, go and type in Sennen Cove, and no doubt you'll see pictures of some of the waves that come here. And wow, scary, you know. Whoa, whoa, boom. Just as I say it, whoa. And you think it's, wow, I've never been that close to a wave coming that strong. Can't even put it into perspective how high that was. I mean, God. Yeah, just as I said, and it's not even high tide yet, really. We've still got 3 hours until high tide, and that's the sort of waves that are kicking up here. You wait till later. Been attacked by a dog. Hello. Hey, buddy. I mean, as seascape locations go, you know, it's hard to beat this, especially in the southwest of England. This is the place. Boy, here we go. Wow. God, this place takes a beating, doesn't it? Whew. You get a good view of Sennen here. Very exposed little town here to the elements. Nice shot here though. Never been here before. I've been to Sennen, but I've never been to this lookout point or this part of the coast path, and I'm so glad I did today. I'm so glad. I was contemplating it this morning, thinking, don't think the weather conditions will be quite right, but you know, it's just another reminder in photography, seascape, landscape photography, you just got to get out and try. Even the worst conditions can be the best. Right, well, I got a bit carried away. It's taken a long time. Oh. This wind is really picking up. Oh. Well, about 2 hours until technically sunset, which probably ain't gonna happen, but this tide is still coming in and this wind is really picked up. This wind was actually meant to slow down, I think, a little bit. We were meant to get like 15 mile per hour winds, but it's easy 25, 30 mile per hour. But I've got a bit of a hike now, all the way back to like the Land's End point where we were earlier, which is on the other side of that area, so got a bit of a walk. that's nice. Little sit down for 10 minutes. What time are we on? Took me 20 minutes. Not bad, considering how far we've just walked. So it's very easy, steady walk along there, but just got back to the first and last house here. And quick refreshment break, and then back at it. But the downside to being here, of course, in winter time, none of this is open. So I can't even get a Cornish pasty. Can't buy a Cornish pasty in Land's End here in December. They might sell them in the hotel saying that, but all the refreshment shops here, they're completely shut. I could eat a Cornish pasty now. Let's have a little setup of the gear here. Get the tripod set up because I want to try and get some shots of this lighthouse. Now I did bring, of course, got my Z8 here. Predominantly I've been shooting on my 24-70 lens here, but I did bring my 180 to 600 with me for two reasons. I wanted to get a shot of the lighthouse, but also in this area there has been a lot of Atlantic bluefin tuna feeding here, where you've seen them jumping out of the water, having a big feeding frenzy. Now, I've been keeping a good close eye out all day today in the hope to photograph one, but yeah, no chance so far. I mean, you've got to be very lucky to see one of them down here. But I did bring my big lens with me just in case. My eyes are still peeled for any marine life and bird life that inhabit this area, because it is prone to incredible marine life down here. Whales, dolphins, tuna, you name it, they're down here. So, but I'm yet to see one, but a good telltale sign would be flocks of seagulls. You see flocks of seagulls around there, then that's a good indication. That's a bit of a feeding frenzy area going on there. But let's try and get in on this lighthouse now. Saved it. What a save. Get my tripod set up nicely here. Have a quick look at the old lens, because there's a lot of spray kicking up here. This wind is not settling, and just saying that, I'm getting a little bit wet from a bit of rain, which is the first rain we've had down here. Gosh, this lighthouse is getting an absolute thumping. Wow, look at that. My gosh. I got it on video there, but I didn't get a shot, a photograph. I'm gonna have to try and get a photograph of that. Whoa, just as soon as I set up there and I get a massive wave like that, it nearly reached the top of it, didn't it? I read somewhere that that's probably one of the most exposed lighthouses, definitely in the UK, you would have think. And there's a door on the other side of that lighthouse. But that door on that lighthouse is probably one of the most exposed doors in the world, because we're getting that thumping Atlantic Ocean just battering this coastline here. You think people are in that? People have to probably man that lighthouse, probably have to stay there. I don't know if they work in shifts or what, but very scary. Still no sign of any marine life, no tuna. Even the seagulls aren't really flying around much in this, there's not a lot about. Well, this overcast is well and truly upon us now, everybody. And this tide is getting higher by the minute, but it's 3:15, got an hour and 15 minutes until sunset, and the light starts getting worse. Oh, wow, starlings. Wow. Nice. So we're going to get over to this final location and get all set up. This place looks like it's open. Of course, they've got the old, well, this is where you can get your picture taken. You can put where you want on there, like your home country, and they'll tell you how many miles away it is from here. And yeah, this is the New York that way. Yeah, definitely can't see the Statue of Liberty today. And of course, John O'Groats, 874 miles, Scotland, the northern tip of Scotland, and I'm sure that will be equally as amazing to see. I just noticed an old friend which I've got to go and say hello to. I didn't realise he was here. Paddington. Wow. Hello, buddy. Hello, mate. Oh, wow. That made quite a nice shot, wasn't it? Having his marmalade sandwich here in Land's End. Well, we're coming up to it now, and I can see there's a lot of sea spray getting kicked up into this little cove. I mean, above me. Don't know if you could see it on camera here. Gonna have to give my camera gear a really good clean when I get home. Even when I get back to the car, might have to just get a lens cloth a little bit wet and start giving it a bit of a clean, because salt water is a killer for a camera. Any metal components on your camera, I would get them cleaned off very quickly. I'm going to try and get a shot down here, I think. This looks like a good spot. There's a nice safe fence there, which I can hide behind. Obviously sticking to the paths here, look. Of course, this is one of the most famous shots you'll see in Cornwall, because you've got the rock formation there and kind of like archway that's eroded through it, look. And coming here at high tide with this waves crashing in, look, it's just the perfect time. I was going to come here last weekend and actually do this vlog, but it was going to be low tide at this time, so I chose not to. It's huge waves getting battered through that archway there. Here it comes. Oh. Just trying to shield my body from shield the lens with my body from the spray coming in, and just keep an eye on the waves. Big wave coming in now. Just keeping an eye on the waves and the sets. Settles down every minute or two, and then a big wave comes in. Well, I've captured this shot a couple of times over the years, but I'd love how it kind of just like frames that ocean there. Lovely, doesn't it? Like that V shape. And you get the arch, and you can get the lighthouse dead center there. Really great shot to get that. Lovely framed. God. God, I need to cover myself. The salt air, the spray from the ocean is getting on my lips. I could just taste like salt water on me. Very important to have the right gear here. Waterproofs, good warm clothes this time of year. And here we go. Oh, probably one of the most famous, iconic shots in all of Cornwall here. But it is incredible. You can understand why people come here to take this shot. But want to be careful not getting too close. Just on this rock here is close enough for me. And there it is. High tide, look. Absolutely thumping this coastline, look. Well, it's 4 o'clock now, so we're definitely not going to get any more light today. And it's just getting moodier and moodier. We're kind of like entering blue hour now, but I'm just experimenting with some different shutter speeds, 1/5 of a second all the way to 200ths of a second, experimenting with different panoramics, and again, this ocean is just incredible. It is getting stronger by the minute. Just switching up compositions here, kind of like this rocky foreground here, but it's starting to rain a lot now, so it's getting even more difficult to shoot this. Well, I'm going to end this video there, everybody. I want to thank you so much for joining me on this incredible adventure here at Land's End in Cornwall. Please click and subscribe onto my channel, and I will see you on the next adventure. See you later.